Hey everyone, this is Brett from Azeroth Rediscovering. Over there we have Jess.
Hi.
Hi Jess.
Hi Brett.
Azeroth Rediscovering is a podcast in which we talk about World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft, not just World of Warcraft in general, but specifically leveling up during World of Warcraft. Jess has not leveled up in World of Warcraft before, and I have played through World of Warcraft many times. So we're getting two different perspectives here, and it's been a lot of fun doing the show. So, Jess,
What?
we've been leveling now for a very long time. But first, before we get into our awesome quests that we've been doing, how was your day today?
Uneventful, Brett.
Uneventful?
Yeah, today's Tuesday. I didn't go to work yesterday. I worked from home today. I'm tired of sitting in my room. I still can't turn my head. I have a very sore body. I don't know why. I'm probably dying, but it'll be okay. How was your day?
Not meningitis, right?
Probably not, but maybe we'll know in a week.
Did you have like a test or anything?
Yeah, I had a couple little baby tests, and they said to do some things, and then in a week, the only way to tell for sure is to do a spinal tap. So, we're waiting on that. We're gonna try to wait a couple things out before we do that, and then probably gonna have to do that if they decide it's necessary.
Well, we hope it's not meningitis for you, because that sounds like a better time than having meningitis, not having meningitis.
It's true. I don't want that.
How
was your day?
Yes.
I asked you. You didn't answer me.
Yeah. Very busy. We got new stuff in at work, new hardware, and I am tasked with installing it. It's very fun though. I'm liking cloning hard drives and installing solid state drives and installing RAM, other PC hardware stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. Been very busy today.
That's cool.
But let's actually talk about World of Warcraft, because that is why we are recording. We don't record our day-to-day banter.
We should.
Normally.
We should.
Yeah, should that be a separate podcast?
Maybe.
Okay, well you got to start chipping in for the hosting then, because I just can't keep that up.
Well, can we just piggyback it off of the hosting you're already paying for?
We could do that, but I think we would hit a limit if we put out as many episodes as we do with Azeroth Rediscovering.
Man, if we had a banter podcast, we would have to have a couple guest speakers.
Yeah, I think I could get some though.
Yeah, I think I know some too.
Yeah, people just like to talk. Man, my mom. You want to get my mom on a podcast?
Oh,
she likes to talk.
She would be confused at the microphone.
Yeah, yeah. I've had multiple people ask me if my microphone was a speaker, and then I immediately would say, no, it's a microphone, and then they said, oh, that's what I meant. So I thought that was really funny, and then I started thinking, that is kind of weird that I speak into a microphone, but I listen into a speaker. I should speak into a speaker and listen through something else.
A hearing phone?
Yeah, a hearing phone. That's a good one. Anyway,
World of Warcraft, Brett, what'd we do?
I've heard of that game. We're level 76. We've left Venom Spite. That is where we last left you. And we're heading to Dalaran. We've not been there yet. Jess, tell me what you know about Dalaran.
I don't know anything.
Nothing about Dalaran. Okay, I will tell you about Dalaran. Dalaran is the capital city in Northrend. This was the continent added during Wrath of the Lich King, and Northrend serves as, it's kind of like the Shattrath it's the Shattrath
equivalent.
How do I say this? Yes, equivalent to, as it is to Outland, Dalaran is to Northrend. That should have been way easier to say.
Yeah, I don't really know what the holdup was there.
Oh man, I was getting distracted. So Dalaran is shared by both the Horde and Alliance, and there is a bank. There's an auction house. There are class trainers, and then there are also portals to many of the main cities. And let me see.
I like those. I really like the portals in the game. I think it's pretty cool. Especially now that I'm starting to get the hang. Like, I can kind of retain My dog's snoring behind me. I'm sorry. I don't know if you all can hear that, but it's really loud. I like when I'm retaining, like, geographical locations and how I can get from one place to another. That's new to me in this time zone, time period, whatever. Go on. I like the
Eastern.
portals. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the portals are nice getting around. You used to have to, people would often type in trade chat that they were looking for a mage to make them a portal. And a mage would group with you, and then they would and make you a portal. And then most people would tip the mage like a gold or so because they came and made you that portal. So that used to be the social kind of aspect, but I've noticed they really cut down on the relying of other people in World of Warcraft.
That's good, because they almost exclusively ignore you when you speak to them nowadays.
They really do.
At least in my experience.
Sometimes I wonder if they're even reading what I'm saying. Like if I type in instance chat, or if I type in even a say, I'm just like, man, is this person just totally ignore the... Because it feels like I'm always looking at the chat box, and it just seems like people just straight ignore you.
I'll be honest, I just recently got down with looking at the chat box. Like, I ignore it completely. I'm trying to get better about it, but it's new to me.
No, and that's fine. I mean, you certainly don't need to stare at it, but it's where you can kind of keep track of what's taking place. I like looking at it. So we're heading to Sholazar Basin. And
what happened when we got there, Brett?
It's
your favorite thing that happens. It's like your favorite thing you're most excited about.
Where in the world is him at Nessuary?
Mm-hmm. You like that little guy.
I do. He's like, even though I play Alliance and he's a dwarf, I play Horde and he's a dwarf, I like this guy a lot. He's, I just always liked his quest, and you could probably hear me talk about him on the Outlands podcast when he was in Nagrand, but now we're kind of in the Northrend Nagrand. It's almost the same. Do you remember Nagrand, Jess? Is this not just Nagrand, but in Northrend?
Yeah, it's very similar.
It is. It's a little less, luscious. It's a little more jungly, and seems like more dangerous, whereas I felt Nagrand was very open and green and nice, but it seems like this place is a little bit scarier. Just always makes lots of faces at me and makes me think something's going wrong, and it's very distracting. So I appreciate that, Jess, even when nothing's actually...
I keep hearing your cell phone vibrate, and it's distracting me.
But our current setup, I do not believe that will happen, that it will be picked up on the microphone. But now that we've brought so much attention to it, it is obviously part of the show.
Well, that happens. I also heard a really loud vehicle on your end before.
Not sure what that was because I'm inside. Monty Muzzleshot is stuck in a tree. He's this dwarf, and I believe he's part of the Hemet Nessuary expedition, and he's stuck in a tree in a parachute. And you do a quest for him. Can't really remember exactly what that was, but that's part of Sholazar Basin. And actually, before we get into Sholazar Basin, there was one thing I wanted to go over. I forgot when we were in Dalaran. We went into Violet Hold. So Violet Hold is this little area of Dalaran in which you could go find the daily dungeon quest givers. And that no longer exists. But what you would do, Jess, is there was a heroic side and a non-heroic side. And you would just go talk to one of them, or both, and you would get a quest, and it would tell you to do a specific dungeon. And if you completed that dungeon, you would complete the quest, you could come back, talk to him, and then you would get a special reward. It was I can't remember exactly how much gold. I want to say it was like maybe 10 to 15 gold, and then you wouldn't get XP because you would be fully leveled already. And then I think you would get like some badge of justice, or some kind of currency, whatever the currency was for turning in to get your good gear. Also, Violet Hold, there is an actual instance called the Violet Hold, which is located in Dalaran, and it's like a fairly short kind of portal defense thing, enemies will spawn in different portals. We went in there briefly, Jess. I don't know if you remember, but
I don't really.
We went in there, and I said, don't talk to anyone because you might start the instance, and then we might die.
I remember you saying that, but I can't really picture what was happening. Like, I do remember that, though.
Yeah, it was a fairly, it was like a medium-sized room, and people would come out of portals if you were to start it. You'd have to go to the different portals. Anyway, back to Sholazar Basin. We find a guy named Chad, and he gives us a quest called It Could Be Anywhere. And we have to find an engagement ring. He has lost in his engagement ring. And it could be anywhere. He does not give you a specific location, so it is kind of just a passive quest that you can complete while you are questing through Sholazar Basin.
Yep. We had that one for a little while.
Yeah, we ended up picking it. We completed it. It didn't take too long. I want to say within 10 minutes of getting it, we stumbled upon the ring, and we got a lot of XP. We got 62,000 XP for that, which is 3 bars at level 76. That is a lot of XP. So that was really, really cool. Jess, do you want to talk about the next quest, or should I start that off?
Well, are we talking about the engine one?
Sure, go ahead.
We have
whichever one you want to talk about.
We have need an engine, take an engine, I think. That was just, man, I kind of have to refresh my brain because we do so much stuff, it's hard for me to separate it. But we saw this guy Westlick's.
Westlick's Quick Wrench.
He made us a flight path, and then for the need an engine, take an engine, we had to I don't remember. I remember seeing this guy, but I don't remember.
So I think we just picked up an engine. It was just sitting there by
big?
Well, there's a screenshot of it right there. You just pick it, you just loot it. I think it was back by right where you land. And there he's right by the engine's right by the guy that's stuck in a tree.
I remember the guy in the tree.
Yeah, that was the guy I mentioned earlier. So he's stuck in a tree. You just run by, pick up the engine, and then it takes you.
It gives you this was a 2-parter quest. It was have an engine or need an engine, take an engine, and then have a part, give a part. I do remember the second part. You had to get squares. You had to you had to go pick up spare parts, and give them back to Westlick's.
Yep, just pick up some shiny stuff on the ground, and then you got your flight path. I thought that was cool to have a quest that gives you a flight path. That's usually not a quest, so that was pretty cool.
I know that it's kind of silly, but my favorite, I'll probably say it in every episode, my favorite quests are the picking up, gathering items. I'm not really big on killing mobs or anything. I like to pick things up that I see them sparkling in the ground. It's my favorite part of the things we do.
Yeah, it's well, you don't have to leave your.
Yeah, we talk about it. I'm spoiled.
Yeah. Engineer Helis,
I think.
Helis. This is a human female that we find in the mines, and kind of this mine area that is in Sholazar Basin, and she gives us an escort quest. It's not too painful. We just kind of have to kill some mobs that attack her, and that's that one. We walk her back to, I think, the Nessimwary base camp.
Yeah, the escort quests are my least favorite thing that we do in WoW.
I think mine too. Just, we have coming up the Mastery Quest, which, if anyone is familiar, the Mastery Quest are the him at Nessimwary quest. Yay! Yeah, he's got, does he have 3 different ones for us this time? Yep. Once again.
We had a Dreadsaber, a Rhino, and a Crocolisk.
Yep, we sure do. The Dreadsaber Mastery, we are to go out and kill 15 Dreadsabers and come back. And then that is in the first chain, the first step in the Dreadsaber Mastery. Then we have Stalking the Prey, in which we have to kill... Oh no, we don't even kill anything this time. They changed it up on us. You have to identify Shango tracks. So this is leading up to the next quest. The Shango tracks are just paw prints you can find on the ground in certain areas around the lake and kind of the northwest of Sholazar Basin. And then that leads us to Dreadsaber Mastery Ready to Pounce, in which you kill a large cheetah.
Shango. You have to...
A large...
It's like you... The three things that you do, like you have to... You're becoming the predator, stalking the prey, and then pouncing. And so, like, the stalking the prey, you track him, you find his feet prints, and then you find him, and you... I think they want you to bring his pelt or something. You have to...
Yep.
That's what it was, to bring Shango's pelt back to Hemet.
Sure is. Alright, you want to handle the next set, Jess?
Yeah, we did the Crocolist. I'll do the Crocolist one. We had to... You started out killing 15 Crocolists, which is the same as the Dread Sabers. You had to kill 15 of those. And then the next one was called the Plan. And you had to bring 5 Sandfern Fronds to Debar. That was Hemet's little buddy next to him in the base camp. You had to bring sand ferns, which were just 5 little glowing items that you had to go pick up. And then after you did that, he gave you the third step, and that was to bring the jaw of the big Crocolist. His name, I think, was Bushwhacker. You had to bring his jaw back to the Nessunwary base camp.
Now, I remember this one specifically because there was, I think there was a hunter that was killing us, an Alliance hunter that was hunting us, and he killed us a couple times right around this area. This one was cool because they gave you a sand fern disguise, and you had to go to the certain area by there's a lake in the very center of Sholazar Basin, and you go to the lake and you use the item and you turn into the sand fern, the things you had been collecting in the previous quest.
Right.
And that lured him out, and then you attacked him. You ambushed him because you turned into a bush. So that was pretty cool.
Yep. So that was that mastery. That was just the 3 steps. Very, very simple. What was the next one, Brett?
Rhino Mastery, the test. That is the first one in the Rhino Mastery quest chain. For this one, we have to get some Shardhorn rhinos. You have to slay them. You simply turn that back into him at Nessunwary. Then we have Rhino Mastery, the chase, in which looks like this one you just need to speak to someone. There is a large kind of carcass or bones of Nazran, which is a large rhino that is not too far from the Nessunwary expedition camp or the Nessunwary base camp. And then I believe you go down there and you take cobra fangs. So you have to go kill cobras and get their fangs, and not all of the cobras dropped fangs. I remember we were also being killed by the Alliance person on this quest as well. And we took those, and you take those back down to the bones of Nazran, and then you summon this large rhino. And you get, so you get Suram's incense, and then you find the location of Farun. Do you not summon? I thought we summoned the large rhino and killed him. Maybe not.
I'm sorry. Think so.
I think I misspoke.
This one was a little bit different than the others, because the other ones there was like a boss every time, and this one kind of wasn't like that. And it had like 4 steps to the mastery as opposed to 3.
Right. Yeah, that is strange. Okay, you do not summon and kill a large rhino. You just kind of use some incense and find the location of Farun. Alright, on to the next one. I like this one. This one is called Kick What Kick. And there is a gnome very nearby, and you now have a RJR rifle, and you have to shoot the apple off the top of Lucky Wilhelm's head. And he's just right there, and I don't think there's anything special about this. You just right click it and you just shoot. Like, you get the rifle and he's right there by the quest giver at the base camp, and you shoot it, and that's it. and then you get like 1100 XP, and that's over.
Yeah, when you when you return and give that quest in, he gives you the second part to it, which was it looked a little bit. It was pretty tough. Like it wasn't tough. It was just it was called the Great Hunters Challenge, and you had to kill 60 game animals. And normally, when you have to kill a large amount of something, it's because you're at a cannon or you're in a vehicle and you get to plow them. Like there's an easy way to kill multiple things, but this was just you had to kill 60 animals while you were out and doing other quests, and it like that's kind of like you can't do that quickly. Like you have to spend time doing that. This was good for me because of my skinning, and I could skin everything over here. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit gypped because no matter where we are or what we're doing, Brett can always seem to mine. But I can't really seem to skin all the time. And I have to say, like, I really enjoy skinning, but next character I level, it will not be the profession that I choose. I don't make a lot of money off of my gold. I don't make a lot of gold off of my skin, is what I mean, like, off the stuff that I loot, But I also, I haven't, like, super leveled my leatherworking. It's pretty behind. Like, I feel at 100, or at, like, I'm sitting at, like, about 120 on my leatherworking, and everything else is in the, like 400s.
Right. And your gathering profession will always level quicker than your production profession if you're just playing along, because your production profession requires a lot more. Like, it is a lot harder to level up, and some people just don't even get one.
So when you say my gathering profession is and my, like, is my gathering profession my skinning?
Yes.
And then my production profession would be the leatherworking. See, in my opinion, how does it not go hand in hand? Because, like, in theory, what I'm skinning, I should, aside from the fact that I have to go buy, like, thread and dye and stuff, but that's not stuff I have to find. I just go buy that. So why are they not leveling equally?
Yeah, they should go hand in hand, but that it comes down to, are you stopping and using everything that you get to level leatherworking, or are you keep leveling? Like, if you wanted to run parallel with one another, you would need to skin, and then, alright, I need to go to Orgrimmar so I can level my leatherworking, and just, hopefully I have enough skin. So, and I doubt you've been doing that, because we level so quickly, and it's very easy to get behind on it. So...
Well, and I think that's the thing, is that I didn't know that, until about now. Like, until about level 75. And by then, I don't get light leather, which is what I needed to level my leather work. Like, I don't get, like, now, currently, I do try to level it, but I haven't leveled my leatherworking enough to use what I'm getting skinning right now.
Right.
And I didn't realize that I should have been doing that when I just was vendoring and I didn't know that I could auction house my hides and my leathers. Like, I just vendored everything that was in my bag. So there were some things that perhaps my my WoW partner should have mentioned to me while I was a little baby WoW player that maybe I missed out on learning.
Yeah, it's hard to remember everything. Like, it's hard to remember what it's like to be a new player and kind of explain every little thing. Like, I try my best.
I know, you do a good job. I know this now, moving forward. It's not like I'll never level another character, so it's okay. I just know, man, you're mining. You have so much more money than I do. Like, it's I'm so jealous of all the gold you have.
Well, and that was from other characters too, so you can't really think that I actually have that much gold. And it's really not even that much. Like, once you hit max level, you'll see that it will come much easier. So the Great Hunters Challenge was very cool because if you were wise, you picked this up as early on as you could, and then when you were killing the animals for the the mastery quests, you were able to get credit for these as well. I wanted to add that.
Yeah, we kind of did it halfway through the masteries. I think we picked this up, and then we added a guy that there was somebody that was like totally in the same spot as we were, and we could tell, so we added him to our party so we could kind of get credit for what he was doing.
Yep, he helped us a lot. I don't remember what he was, but he helped us. Next quest, Jess, I want you to talk about this because you liked it so much.
I did.
Yeah.
It was called Some Make Lemonade and Some Make Liquor, and you had to... You had to gather fruit, and we're kind of in the jungle, we're over swampy areas, and you had to gather fruit, and it was really cool. Like, I'm a produce person. I like produce a lot. My family owns a produce business, so any way that applies to my life is good. Like, I enjoy that. So gathering fruit was fun to me. But we had to, you would see that there were glimmering vines, and you would have to go over and tug the vine, and it would drop fruit. And you had to get oranges, bananas, and papayas. Sometimes it would give you what you didn't need, what you already had, and so it was very fun. I liked that a lot. I liked gathering fruit. And then you had to go, I think that there was another little piece to this. Actually, I know there was. I have to remember the order. But you had to go, the next part of that, you had to gather all the fruit, and then you had to go to this little distilling section by the base camp, and you had to, like, you had your bananas, papayas, you had your stuff, and then they had a little thing that you had to stand in front of, and you would have to, insert what it wanted at the correct time. Like, it was like it was kind of, it
was like a mini game.
It was a mini game. Like, there was like a little, there wasn't like a video, but there was a little guy saying, okay, now add bananas, hurry up, and then it would be like, well, go release the pressure, it's doing this too quickly, and you'd have to run over and spin the little knob, and it was all just reaction. But if you threw in a banana when you should have thrown in a papaya, like, it failed, and if you didn't release the pressure quick enough, it would blow up, and you would have to start over, and, like, there was one part of it, like, I think there was, like, a fire, so you had to heat it up, and I didn't even, like, I knew that I had 3 fruit baskets, and I knew that there was a dial for the pressure, but I didn't even see the fire, and it was like, okay, go, it's cooling off too quickly, go light, and I'm like, we're wet, and I failed it, because I didn't even notice that there was a fire pit that was part of this little... This was a lot of fun. I liked that, but it also, like, it took me, like, 3 or 4 tries to get it done, because I kept not doing things correctly. It was more than 3 or 4. Is that what your face is about?
That is part of what my face is about. Also, my face is about, you never completed it. I went and tried it and finished it on the first time.
Oh, he's such a jerk. That is what happened. I gave up because I got really mad. And it was, oh, you just made me lie to everybody. It was so many more than 4 times, and then, like, I got actually mad and didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, this reminds me of something that would be at the Dark Moon Fair. Like, the intricacy of doing this quest, they're so few and far between that it seems crazy to not have something very similar to this at the Dark Moon Fair. Like, they could reskin, they could keep these same mechanics and just kind of reskin it to make it applicable to the Dark Moon Fair.
Right.
Because these are the kind of things you play at the Dark Moon Fair. I'll say that one more time.
Where at?
The Dark Moon Fair.
And when is that?
It's once a week. Or it's once a month. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So after you made the punch, because I couldn't do it, but it counted for me when he did it, which is important, because I would have abandoned the quest and quit playing the game. Like, I'm a quitter. We had to go to 3 different people in the base camp. We had to take it to Hemet, to Hedrius, and Tamara, and they had to taste the punch and tell us if they liked it. So that was that was that sequence. That was a good one. I liked that one.
Yeah, that was a good quest chain.
It sucks that the one I enjoyed the most out of this section I couldn't even do.
we're probably level 78 at this point. I don't have it noted, but I would imagine we're level 78. And I think we had out-leveled Sholazar Basin.
Yep.
So, we are heading to Icecrown Citadel, also known as Ice Cream Citadel, which is, for some reason, what I and a couple friends called it when we were leveling there. I don't know why, but I thought it was kind of funny. We fly up and we find, what is that called? Orgrom's Hammer? Yeah, Orgrom's Hammer ship is the Horde ship. I first flew to the Alliance ship because I did not realize there were two ships, and I saw a ship on the map, and I was like, I remember questing at a flying ship towards the northeast area, so I flew up there, and I was like, well, there's no quest, and I was like, oh, that's all Alliance people. Luckily, they didn't attack me, so I just went to, I found the Horde ship. I saw the other ship on the map. We had quests here. It wasn't really... There were only a couple, and they were... Mostly these quests were to send you to other questing areas. So, I think the first one is called It's All Fun and Games, which is a very funny title because you need to destroy the Ocular, which is an eyeball. And that is an eyeball that is in the Shadow Vault of the northwest area of Icecrown Citadel. If you guys don't know, Icecrown Citadel was kind of like the big, like, this was I don't even know what you'd call it, the pinnacle of the of Northrend, because the actual Icecrown Citadel, which is located at the south of the area, is where Arthas is located, the Lich King, and that is where a lot of the end game content takes place. Also, the area is very large and everything is on a large scale, so it seems it's very it reminds me of Game of Thrones and the way that the wall is, and man, I haven't seen that show in a while, so I don't have all the terms like fresh in my mind.
Comes back on in April, Brett.
Well, okay. Maybe we'll go back and we'll re-edit this episode in April so that everyone I can have my terminology correct. No, but
it's just called the Wall.
Yeah, well, it's
like
the Wall,
Black.
And it's like the ice and the coldness and all that stuff reminds me of that, the undead, etc.
Yep. The funny part about this quest, like you almost told them, but then you didn't, and I can't let you go on. It's called It's All Fun and Games, and you have to destroy the Ocular, which is the eye. It's all fun until games until someone loses an eye. Like,
right.
You set the joke up, but then you never said it, and that's not fair.
I feel like...
How do you feel? Tell me how you feel.
These are my feelings. that was implied. I think they could put that together. Guys, if you didn't put that together...
It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye.
Right. And the quest is called It's All Fun and Games, and then you have to destroy the eye. So you're right, Jess, just to be totally clear.
Thanks.
Jess, the next quest is... obviously, we don't go to every single quest, but we're just kind of picking out the ones that stood out to us. This is Judgment Day Comes, and normally I would not make such a big deal about this is just go talk to someone and the quest is over. We normally skip those on the podcast, but we have to go talk to Tyrion Fordring, and I know him. He has a Hearthstone card, and that is where I first learned of him. So that was kind of neat going to talk to this person that I had not seen since he had not been a pivotal character to me until Hearthstone. So that was nice. We talked to him.
The notes say I first learned of him from HS, and I thought you learned about this person in high school, and I was very interested in how that happened. Now I know, and I'm disappointed.
Well, I was playing in high school.
Not Hearthstone.
No, that is true. I was playing WoW in high school.
I was like, is this a real person? Like, I thought that there was some history about to be learned, and I'm wrong.
No. Curing the Incurable, Jess. Do you want to talk about this?
No, I want you to talk about this one.
Okay. there were venom sacks. So now we're questing. So we got to Orgrim's Hammer, which was the ship at the northeast. They almost immediately sent us to the southeast, and now we are questing in this area. What is that called? It's Argent Crusade Rep. The Crusader's Pinnacle is I think what the area is called. So Father Gustav gives us a quest because these Anub spiders have kind of taken over this area, and you're fighting right outside the town, and you have to I think you have to collect the Forgotten Depths venom sacks, and these are these large spiders that drop them. You have many quests to go to kill things outside of the area, such as the next one, Scourge Tactics.
I have
so
that
once
one.
again, okay, let's hear about it, Jess.
The Ebon Watcher at the Valley of Echoes in Icecrown wanted us to bring him 15 Scourge Stones. It's pretty straightforward. You just had to go gather the Scourge Stones were.
Now, Jess, is this Purging of Scourge Helm, or is this the Scourge Stone quest? Because I was.
Were you talking about the Purging?
No, I was actually talking about Scourge Tactics.
Oh, then I'm talking about the wrong thing. I'm ahead of you.
That's okay. So let's talk about Scourge Tactics really quick. So this one you have to. There are webbed. You have web crusaders, which are just guys. They're in these webbed, it's like humans that have been shot with a lot of web, and they're stuck, and you just have to attack and destroy. And then you're doing this quest along with other quests that are right in that area. So it's very easy to get through. We can go ahead to your Scourge Stone if you want. There are a couple others as well, but they're all in the same area. Same thing.
Everything is Scourge Stone and Scourge Home, and there's a lot going on with these people.
Lots of Scourge.
The Scourge Home, the purging of the Scourge Home was cool though, because they were stuck in spider webs, and normally I wouldn't think that's cool, but I did. It was appropriate for the scenery. It looked pretty cool. But so the next one we did was the Scourge Stone quest.
Yep.
And that was where they want us to bring him 15 Scourge Stones. It starts and ends in Icecrown. It's right where everything else is. What were you gonna say?
How do we collect these? Are they just on the ground, or do we have to kill?
No, we had to kill Scourge in Scourge Home to gather Scourge Stones. That's how we did this.
That's a lot of scourging.
Yeah, so that's why I got confused, because all these words are the same but a little different.
Well, let me tell you about my next quest. It's called the Purging of Scourge Helm, and you have to destroy certain large scourge. So there is a Forgotten Depths High Priest, which I remember looking very strange and being like, normally stuff doesn't, and I hate the word creepy because people just use it so ridiculously, but this thing was a little creepy looking, and I don't know what it was about it. Like, it was like this very tall, elongated spider, kind of, and I didn't like they were freaky to me. So that's the High Priest, and there's the Forgotten Depths Under King, and then the Reanimated Crusader. Those weren't anything special. Those look like other things we had killed. The High Priest was weird looking. Also, Jess, I think during this time, you did a little battle with the Lich King. I think you were kind of floating, or you were flying, and the Lich King is right here by all this stuff. He's on a platform, and he started attacking you, and so you fought the Lich King. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a big deal, man.
I remember, because I know about the Wrath of the Lich King, but that means nothing. All I know is that this guy has a wrath, and then all of a sudden, we were just trying to do a couple little things over here, and all of a sudden I'm like, Brett, I think I'm fighting this guy and his wrath. Is this the one with the wrath? And
that's him.
You said yeah.
A couple more. We are just about to wrap this up. We just have a couple more quests. Defending the Vanguard. We had to kill 15 Forgotten Depths Nerubians. So the Nerubians are large spiders. So once again, it's in the same area. It's that southeast corner of Icecrown, and they're almost all immediately right outside of the quest hub town.
Yep.
Next one, I'll let you get the one after this, Jess, but I want to talk about this because I like this a lot. This is called Into the Wild Green Yonder, which there's also a Futurama movie by this name, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. You get to mount a like, I always call them proto dragons or proto drakes because they're not like the, in my head there might be more than this by now, but it used to be when dragons were introduced as flying mounts, there were two kind of dragons. There was like more like the drake, like the bronze drake or dragon that you could get from the culling of Stratholme, in which I thought they kind of looked a little dorky. Like they had very good posture. And then you had like the proto dragons, which kind of were hunched over much more. And they kind of flew a little bit. They flew differently, and you get to ride one of these on this. And you had to go pick up Crusaders that were in Scourge Home, and you had to. They were just kind of down on the floor, and you could swoop down, and you could pick up to 2 at a time, and then you'd fly them back. You fly back and drop them back off at the camp. And I like this quest. It was fun flying on that. It was fun. Like when you picked them up, you could see them. Like the dragon claws would hold them at the bottom. And I thought that was really cool that you could even see 2 of them when you picked up 2 of them. Like you could see the animation, like they changed it so that you could see them both.
Yeah, I think how many did we have to get?
We had to get 3.
We had to get 3. Yeah, you were done getting all 3 before I even really realized what I was supposed to do, and you had to wait on me because I couldn't. Like, I got into the little fight with the Lich King, and then I got one, and then I couldn't figure out how to drop him off. I couldn't figure out how to let him go. And by the time I figured it out, you were already done with, like, getting your 3 and bringing them back.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with me having done these already. Like, when I get to them, it jogs my memory, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what to do. And when they're not straightforward quests, like just go kill these 3 things or go kill these 15 things, it like my first time doing this, I would have had to kind of read it and like figure out what to do. And I don't realize that with Jess, and then I end up going too quickly. So,
really, it just impressed me because I was just like, I don't know how you did it that quickly, even knowing what you were doing. Because even once I figured it out, it still took me a minute to get it done. But whatever. The next thing we had to do was the line of defense, and this was a quest that we had to kill 100 Scourge attackers and also 3 frost brood destroyers. It was for, again, killing 100 things at once. However, this time we did get a cannon we had to use to shoot and kill these things. That's really fun. I enjoy that. It goes by quickly. You see 100 things and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever, but it goes by really quickly. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, and we have 2 people doing it, so it's counting for we really only destroying 50.
Yeah.
It's probably more like 70-30, but
hey,
that's okay.
Probably, but you don't have to tell them that.
The stone that started a revolution is our next quest, and we have to pick up 10 crystalline heartwoods and 10 ancient elven masonries. I don't remember anything very significant about this. I'm kind of surprised that I'm even talking about it, but it is a quest. Looks like that we did, and looks like they're just right here.
All still down in that southeast corner.
Yeah, from what I can tell. Actually, it looks like when I'm reading in the notes, it's actually located in Crystal Song, which Crystal Song Forest is the same as Dalaran. It's like the kind of middle area by Dalaran. So I guess we went and collected those. I don't necessarily remember that, but it made the notes, so I guess we did it.
Yeah, it did. It was just a pretty... I remember doing it, but it was very straightforward. Nothing... nothing big about it, but it was just part of a progression that we were doing. And we got, I think we got, like, a decent amount of, no, we only got 1,250, or 12,000 experience. I don't know why we talked about that one. What's next?
Whatever. Again, almost the same thing. It could kill us all. I have this tab open, and I don't even remember doing this. Once again, it says it's in the Crystal Song Forest, so I'm thinking we maybe made a couple mistakes here, or I'm just misremembering everything. We can move on to the next one. We have the Restless Dead, and looks like everything this time happens in Icecrown. So we had to use holy water on the reanimated Crusaders. I do remember doing this one. So you had to kill some of the skeleton. Once again, southeast corner of the Icecrown Citadel, or I guess it's actually just called Icecrown. You do that in the southeast corner, and you just use this holy water, and it frees their spirits. And they probably talk to you and say, "Thank you for freeing us."
Yep.
And guess what, guys? We did an instance. You haven't heard that word in a while, or you haven't heard that phrase in a while, because we never do instances, because you level too quickly, and I think it spoils the game for a first-time player. But I wanted to do an instance, so we did the Culling of Stratholme.
Yep, we did. What was this instance about? I don't remember it. So was I still DPS?
Yes. So in this instance, that's a spoiler. So in this instance, you get turned into Alliance characters. I was a gnome, and you go through and you watch as Arthas kind of destroys the town of Stratholme, and it's a Caverns of Time quest. So you're technically going back in time, and you're watching Arthas kind of lay waste to this town so that his people don't get infected. So it's very strange. Dude, I could totally have that wrong, and but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. This you actually kind of you do this in Warcraft 3, if I'm not mistaken, when you're playing as Arthas, or maybe you're playing as someone else. But yeah, you have to go through and do this. It's cool. There's a lot of this one is very not cinematic, but it's very story driven. There's a lot of dialogue, and I like the area. Also, if you do this on heroic, this drops. It's not the last one, but it is. It's right before you get to the last one. You can. I think it's the Infinite Corruptor, if I'm not mistaken. And he will get you Reigns of the Bronze Drake, in which he always does that, Jess. So if you're looking for a different flying mount, you can go get that. I don't know if you've seen that bronze dragon that I have. It's kind of ugly. I don't like it. But it's one of the ones that I think fly like all proper and have this like perfect posture. I don't care for him, but yeah, he drops it. So we can always do that if you want to go do that.
I'm kind of. It sounds fun, and like I want to start gathering. I want to do things to get flying mounts, but like you pointed out, with my character the way it is right now, like they're true. Unimportant to me because I'll always just be a little bat.
Yep, bat is greater than all.
But if they're account bound, I could use them later. But I have to have another character that can fly. So eventually, I'll care someday.
Yep. Guys, that put us at level 80, which is awesome because that means we are heading into Cataclysm next episode.
Woo! All right.
Yeah, if you guys want to rate us on iTunes or subscribe on iTunes, we are on there. We are also on Stitcher, and we are on... you can like us on Facebook. We're also on Google Play and Google Play Music. I have these all out of order. We have a Twitter and a Facebook. If we get some followers, we'll start tweeting and Facebooking. But our Facebook is fairly active, but the Twitter is I've yet to see much use in that. But you guys can do all those things and help us out. That'd be great. Or just tell someone about us. That's cool. Jess, do you have anything to add?
I don't. We do have a Gmail. Email Brett. I guess I could look at it too, but Brett's really excited, so I don't want to steal his thunder. Drop a line in an email. Shoot him an email.
Yeah. Azeroth3discovering@gmail.com. You can search Azeroth3Discovering on Facebook to find it, and Twitter is A3Discovering. And
that's it.
That's it. We'll see you in Cataclysm.
Bye.